Up. All right, there we go. All right, sorry guys. I'm glad you told me I was upside down, because now if I was trying to do it when I put it on YouTube, it would be all messed up. So I'm so glad you told me. Thank you so much, Marsha. I am now live, and we are just going to get started with our card. You guys heard my spiel, and I'll talk about it some more when we get started. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm doing this card here. There we go. All right, so I went ahead and made, I used this paper here. So this paper here is called the Fine Shimmer Paper. Now remember, a lot of our shimmer or glitter paper is really rough. But this paper here, if I can pull out, I'm gonna pull out a big piece. This paper here is not, doesn't have the roughness. So when you use it on your cards, it looks like glitter paper, but it doesn't have the rough glitter. I mean, they've been really good how the glitter doesn't come off of our glitter paper. You know, that actually has been a really good bonus from Stampin' Up. The glitter doesn't come off of our paper. So this paper here is, it's 160428, and it's from the new catalog. And let me grab it to see the price here real quick. It is on page 15. It's $10, but I want to see how many sheets you get. I think you might just get 3 sheets. No, 6 sheets. Okay, 6 sheets for $10. That's not bad, actually. 6 sheet for $10, because that makes them $2 each. And as you know, glitter paper and glimmer paper can be really expensive. And then this, I used a piece of this other, it's like a corrugated paper. And this one is called Textured Shimmer. You actually wouldn't know. See, I'm going to show you the blue one. This is the one that we used. I already cut out our pieces. But it has a really nice shine. It's hard to see. It's not as strong as the shimmer paper. It's definitely not as strong. Oh, on the white, I think it is even stronger even. But see, it's hard to see. I guess it's real, you can see it. It's just light. And so the shimmer paper is really pretty. And this, it doesn't have the glitter, but this has been corrugated. It's been run through like a corrugated embossing machine. And so it is a really good paper. I bet you it's similar in price. Textured. It's $10, and I have a feeling it's going to be 6 pieces too. Let me check. Yep, 6 pieces of 6 by 6. No, 6 pieces of 12 by 12. Oh my gosh. These are 12 by 12 pieces. My bad. I thought that they were only 6 by 6 pieces. This is a sample that I got from someone. So for $10, you're getting 6 pieces of 12 by 12 paper, which is really nice. So that means you're getting a lot of paper for that $10. Because sometimes they'll give you the small 6 by 6 pieces and it won't be very much. But yeah. So we're using the Textured Shimmer 160838, and we're using the Fine Shimmer. And you would get 2 huge, well, I guess they're not huge packs, but you'd get all the large pieces of it. And so really, really good. All right, and then we're also using Fancy Flora. And what I want to show you about Fancy Flora is it looks like paint. You know me, I love abstract. This piece, I was going to use this piece. I'll show you how. But see, it's basically, they say it's floral. I bet you when it's on the larger pieces of paper, you can see the floral, like an impressionistic floral. I just see a bunch of like paint splotches when I look at it. But I bet you when it's on the larger sheet, it looks like floral patches. But it's a very impressionistic, and it's really chunky looking paint. So it looks very Van Gogh-ish, you know. And it's really pretty. I'm actually already inspired by doing some other stuff with it. Let's see what the back. Oh yeah, the back has more. I think what happens is these probably look like flowers when you're looking at the 12 by 12 pieces. I just don't like this one. Definitely looks like flowers. You see, like this definitely looks like flowers. but the others don't look like flowers as much. They just look kind of a little more haphazard. Oh, this one we could have possibly used too. I'm gonna take this one off. And oh, and I considered using this one. And so there was a bunch of, but they're calling it Fancy Flora. I'm pretty sure that's the right name. It doesn't sound like it's the right name, but let me look. Someone made this sample for me, but yeah, Fancy Flora. And it's on page 15. So let's see what the big sheets look like. But when you cut it up, it just looks like abstract pieces. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's hard to see what, yeah, I don't see. I think because it's just a part of this suite, this Fancy Flora suite. So they've coordinated the colors to go with the florals here, but the actual paper doesn't necessarily look exactly like florals. It's very impressionistic. So it just, but it adds to the dyes and stuff from that. So that's interesting. I hadn't really seen it before. It's, you know, I just happened to get this sample of paper and I thought I'm going to use this. I was really inspired by the colors. So when you look at it, I mean, obviously when you look at it, it just has a, I always think of Frozen 2 has a lot, well, Frozen 1 also, but Frozen 2 really has a lot of these lavender colors. And even some dark blue because of the water involved in it. I even thought about using this one. You could use this one actually for Frozen 1, but you'd need a different theme because they didn't really have waves or anything in that one. I just obviously thought of the waves in Frozen 2 and the color scheme, which made me just kind of fall in love with making something with this paper today. So we're using a lot of paper and minimal stamping. So for our, and I'm using Orchid Oasis, which I haven't used. So I want to show you something called adhesive sheets. So when you're using fine dyes, I'm not going to demonstrate the whole thing on camera because it becomes a little clunky. So when you have really detailed dyes, it's really smart to use adhesive sheets on these dyes. So what happens is I take, so I don't know if you can see these lines, but you see underneath this is basically a sticker of glue. And so what you do is you take this and you peel it and you put it down on your cardstock. And you can do it on large sheets, small sheets, but you put it down on your cardstock and then you place, so once it's on your cardstock, okay, it'll look like this when you have it on your cardstock. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to place turn it upside down and you're going to place your die on top because you want to have these lines to help you peel off the backing of the die. And so you'll put it down and you'll run it through the trimmer, you know, with my die on top, run it through the trimmer, and when it comes out, it has this nice sticky paper on the back. Right now it's all covered up, but I'll show you when I take it off. So, okay, so let's go ahead. So I used adhesive sheets, and you can get, looks like you get 12 of these long sheets, I think for only $10. I'm pretty positive they're just $10. So I went ahead and I used fresh freesia, and I did things a little differently so I could maximize my paper. This paper had a bunch of these paint swashes on it. So I really was in love with this paper more than I was with this sheet here because I loved that it had a little bit more blue, but you could have even used this sheet here, right? You know, I just kind of liked that there was a lot more blue involved in this sheet rather than this sheet. And it's a 6x6 piece that I happen to have. It comes in 12x12, so you can do whatever you want. I only had that one sheet. So I cut it in half, 3x3, and decided to use that full 3 inches by 5 1/4. Okay, and this is 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. Okay, this is 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. And we're just gonna glue these on top of each other. I wanted a layer. Yeah, I wanted a layer, but I didn't want it to be too small. I didn't like it being really narrow. I liked having that difference. So I went ahead and made it much wider. Yeah, this paper is my new. I love, you know me, when I get these, some of these papers, I feel like I'm super inspired by papers. I love good paper. I hope you guys are doing good. I can't see any comments or anything. Oops. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so we've got our it glued down, and now what I want to show you is how, yeah, the blue goes first. I want the blue, no, the blue goes last. I'm gonna want the purple first. And so there's a little line right here. Well, I need to pop out my little pieces. I also have a pokey tool, courtesy of my good friend Pat Works, if she's watching. Right now I'm just using my fingers, but I'll probably need a pokey tool in a minute. Oh, this one didn't cut. There we go. It did. Just took me a minute. Pop all the pieces out of my waves. There we go. I didn't do it last night. I probably should have, but. There we go. There we go. I think that's all. Yep, that's all. Okay, so now I just find these lines and I pull up the backing. I'm so glad Marcia told me I was upside down, because if I was to do it, my video is upside down. Usually when I flip it down, it'll turn, but I had done it wrong today. I'm really tired. I came home and I came home early from work because I didn't feel that great, and I actually just fell asleep. I was surprised. Oh, there's a little punky piece. So I peeled all, so now this is all sticky. Everything is sticky, including the little tiny pieces. If like that piece was left on, so it was sticky too. And I'm gonna go ahead and just put it along the bottom of my piece. Do I want it here or do I want it here? I think I want it over here so that you have more. Yeah, I think I want it this way because then you have more of that paper showing, which I kind of like. I just like the abstractness of it. And so you're gonna go ahead and line it up. So this is not a full, this is smaller, this little back piece. The back piece is like 3 and, it's not 3 and 5 1/4. It's basically like 5 and however many 16ths, you know. It's a little less. I'm curious. I don't know why it's less, but this will cover it up. The blue one is, oh, there we go. Nice. That pulled off a whole bunch. And so you just peel it up like a sticker. Just be gentle because you don't want to rip your, it's a delicate die. You don't want to rip it. Luckily, this paper is kind of strong too because it's the shimmer paper. Oops. All right. Whoops. All right. And this one is 5 and 5 1/4. All right. And I'm going to put that on there. I really just want to line up the bottoms first. My headband's coming off. Oh. I love Frozen 2. I wouldn't say it's my best. They said there's a Frozen 3 coming out soon. I'm like, oh. But someone also told me there's a Toy Story 5 coming out right now. I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't realize. Now, this one's a little bit longer. And so this one actually meets, and you see I press it down. Part of me kind of doesn't like using the sheets in a way because, you know, it really presses it down, because I kind of like it when it pops up a little bit, because that to me just adds even more texture. But it's so hard to glue it down without having the adhesive sheets. It's just very convenient to use adhesive sheets. But you see how that comes down, they rotate, you know, they overlap each other, but not directly on top. So that's our piece, basic piece. And I was debating what to do about, like, do I want to make it go, you know, add a piece of ribbon wrapping around. And I decided not to do it. I actually am only minimally stamping on here on purpose, because I just thought, it, you know, sometimes less is more. I even debated on some embellishments and stuff, and it just was easier to do this. I appreciate you guys always tuning in. I am just a minimal seller, you know, like I just do this for fun. I'm a teacher at heart. Now I work in a curriculum department, but last week, I think I said it in my videos, I had 2 students see me from across. I teach adults from foreign military, and they saw me and they're like, Miss Jenkins. I taught them 11 or 12 years ago, and they remembered me. And so I just think it's so sweet. I love my students. I love teaching. It's definitely, I have the heart of a teacher. I definitely just, it was my calling to become a teacher. And here I am. Now this die, I wanted to show you the die that I'm using. And this is Orchid Oasis ink that I'm using to pick up the little notes of it right there. There's little hints of it in this piece. There's a few more hints of it on the other piece I used. Oh darn, no, I wanted one more piece. My bad, I'm missing the other piece. I was like, why does it look so plain? It's because I'm missing the other piece. Whoop, I need my... Whoops. So this is why you have your take your pick tool, to break the seal without ripping all the cardstock. I was hoping it hadn't dried enough yet. There we go. Darn, that was a bummer. So I did tear it a little. There we go. But I managed to, I don't think you'll see it from the inside. No, you're okay. I forgot, I wanted to add one more layer. My bad. I thought it needed this extra layer to make it pop more. I had it just plain, but I didn't like it as much. I personally preferred it with this extra layer. And this extra layer is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Not bad. I got distracted. That's another reason why I was using Orchid Oasis, because I added the layer. These are all those colors, those great colors from Frozen. Frozen 1 also had these colors, but Frozen 2 I feel like really showed off these colors way more. Okay, cool. Darn. That's a bummer that I had done that. Let me add some glue. There we go. It's a little bent up. No, it's all right. I liked it also makes it, raises everything a little bit. Right? Yeah, I do. I make boo-boos. I don't always make them online on my videos, but when I do, I mean, I guess I just want to be real too. I do my videos and just want to be who I am, because I just am not, I don't know. I kind of like that. I like the videos where it's always perfectly done too, but that's not who I am. And so this is what I prefer. Let me glue the inside piece as well. I usually glue a piece of white inside. Even on a light colored card like this, I do, because I just feel like it adds a finish. I wanted to try and put something inside that was, you know, like a wave or something, and I could not think of anything. I could only think of snowflakes and I just, or a lizard or something, but, and so instead I just stopped with that. There we go. Come on. There we go. All right, so I made my card. And then I wanted to take this Fresh Freesia ribbon. And I, instead of wrapping it all the way across, I decided to do these little knots. And I thought that was kind of a fun change on a bow or something like that, because I don't know, to me it just added a little something. So what I'm gonna do, what I did the first one is I put it underneath. You go from the under into the top. You go underneath, inside the hole. Yeah. Then you tie your knot. Now you need quite a bit to tie a knot, because I'm actually just pulling more out, because in order to get the knot just right, and then I'll slide it down. So on this end, I get to save a little bit of ribbon, just a little. And so I pull it kind of taut, but not too taut, because I like that the knot is somewhat loose. Then I'm gonna add a couple glue dots here. I like this knot. Yeah. And so I'm gonna add just a couple glue dots to the back of it to hold this ribbon down. I normally wouldn't do that, but because I'm gonna use dimensionals on it, you need that little bit of glue to hold that ribbon down so it doesn't flop all over. What'll happen is the dimensionals will pull on the ribbon, and then the little label will flop around, and you don't really want that. Okay, and so, yep. No, I need to move it just a little. There we go. Perfect. Then for the other end, I tried several things. I cut only like this much the first time, and then I couldn't tie a bow. So I'm going to cut a little excess, because I want to make sure that I can tie the bow or the knot. Oops, I need to push it back through, because you want to make sure you have enough to push through and tie the knot. And the first time I did it, I didn't have enough. So you'll waste a little bit of ribbon on this side, but that's okay. And then you're going to need to move the knot, slowly pull it down. You just pull it toward the label, okay? It'll naturally go there. Just kind of with one finger, one finger pulling this way and the other hand pulling the other direction. And you should get the knot in just about the right place. Yeah. Yeah, and there we go. Because I don't know, the knots almost look a little bit like flowers in a way, or roses. I don't know. They just remind me a little bit of something else. And I just trim them off at an angle. And so you see I wasted like 1.5 inches, but that's okay. And then you see, good thing I have the glue dots in the back, so that now when I use my dimensionals, these dimensionals came out of a paper pumpkin, so you'll see that they're not fully attached to the little piece. It's weird. They're from Stampin' Up, but I think they sourced them to a different company. Our normal dimensionals don't do this ever, where they you didn't see it, but normally I'm like, this just comes off, look. I don't know what's the deal. For some reason, the company they used for those dimensionals was weird. Our normal ones don't do that at all. So, but that's okay. I'll use up my paper pumpkin. Waste not, want not. So I'll use all those up. Okay, now I'm just gonna pop it right here. I just thought that would be fun. A little frozen card. Whoops. I didn't take off the backing of that one. A little frozen card for a Magic Monday. And that is it. That is our card. Nothing too crazy. Just a fun little card. And I like the simplicity of it. Now it is a little, the one part that's a little fussy is getting all the waves. So that takes a few minutes, but everything else was relatively simple as a whole. And so as you can see, you know, you're just trimming 3 layers. And I also kind of like that I use the 3 layers. Wow, my camera is super angled. It's just not, it's like it's not holding anymore. And yeah, it's just not, might need to get another. They just wear out. Our cameras are so heavy now, unless you buy something really fancy that you're gonna hold up. And I don't know how they do it where you don't, your cats don't like attack it. It's just one of those things. Oh, I wanted to show you the label, the dies. So the dies that come with the Waves of Inspiration also have these label dies, which I love. And the clouds, yeah, that's it. Okay, I wasn't sure if there was more. And so it has the clouds, it has the birds, it even has, I think those are, yeah, these are like little pieces of cloud, like extra texture you can make to look like a cloud. It's almost like the negative image of this, just extra stuff for clouds. And then it has these great labels. And then the one that we used earlier, this label. And so I love the labels they have in here. And so this is a good set. And this is more than $50. So you would automatically get something from Celebration if you ordered that set. And then you want to order the paper and you want to order everything and spend all your money. You don't have to spend all your money. Even just supporting my little video, I appreciate. So, all right. And hopefully I think I'm going to get to doing our class again, Yolanda, but I think I'm going to do it out of my house. I think I'm not going to do it at the restaurant. I think I'm going to try and do it out of my house because there's just a few of us. And now that COVID is a little bit better, I think I'll do it out of my house. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks so much for tuning in. I love our little, you know, our little card. Nothing too crazy. And thanks for the info, Marcia. Sorry I had to jump off. I just wanted to make sure that I could upload it to YouTube without too many issues. Don't forget, if you guys want to sign up for my team, you go ahead and you click fabulousstamper.com, join my team, and you can sign up using the oh, I'm sorry, Marcia. I'm sorry. It took you a minute. You can always just go to the Fabulous Stamper page, and that should be the way you can find me. But it takes a second for it to load. But yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to join up for my team. And we have a meeting on the 23rd, little team meeting. And then the second Tuesday of every month, we have a meeting. But the one on the, all meetings are optional, obviously. It's not a mandate, but it's always kind of fun when we get together and we craft, and we have this great little crafting community. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great day.